thing says I'm oh, Lord help you. Piggy on a Saturday night. Elaine's still asleep. She's resting. She's doing what she needs to do. I don't expect much participation tonight because, of course, it's not Elaine doing her trivia. It's just the old Piggy just sitting here doing and being the Piggy. I ain't doing much. Just sitting here, been watching a lot of other videos. Been doing some, well, hey, there's a Bigfoot. Avid. And no, I'm still not interested in that warm spot that you mentioned. But for some reason, it coming from the Bigfoot is not very appealing to the Piggy. So, there we go. As I said, I've been watching a lot of videos, mainly about Elon Musk. I bet it is, Bigfoot. I'll bet it is. But, yeah, I've been watching a lot of videos, mainly about Elon. I've been watching some other videos about other confrontations. Linda Dobson, howdy. How are we? Arlene, hi. How you doing? Well, 78 degrees is a good temp for the Piggy, as long as it's not in some kind of warmer or something like that for your meats. That'd be all right. Uh, I've been looking at Facebook posts and other things, people talking about that uh, Jake Paul Tyson fight. I'm just laughing at them because they fell for the hype and watched Netflix. Netflix has got the Obamas as one of their partners in that company. So yeah, that was a farce. All that Tyson. If it had been a real fight, Tyson would have obliterated Paul with no problem, probably within the first round, and Paul would have been in a world of hurt, probably hospitalized, if not worse, if you know what I mean. But apparently, it was a paper fight, already scripted out, and Netflix and Vegas won the most out of that. The girls' fight was better. Josie, how you doing? I see you in there. So anyway, that was a total farce. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not into sports. Most everything is already decided. Who's going to win, how they're going to win, how far it's going to go, you know, and the athletes involved are but actors in the show. It's all fake. That's why I'm not into sports. If what had truly gone down between Tyson and Paul had gone down and all like that, and this was a for real fight, Paul would have been in the ICU at best. in the morgue otherwise. Because Tyson would have tore him up if it had been a real fight. So some people think that the guy that owns the stadium in which it was held made the most. You know, Tyson and Paul both made tens of millions off that fight. Paul, of course, getting the most of it, and then Tyson. But can you imagine the billions that Netflix and Vegas got out of that fight? It was all a moneymaker. That's all it was. Purdy, I see you in there. Ronnie Ridge, I see you too. So it was all a put on. Just a moneymaker, a paper fight. Wasn't nothing real about it. Every hit was probably pulled to the max, and they just acted it out. And supposedly, Elaine saw something on it where it according to the script, it was supposed to go 10 rounds. It only went to 8. Tyson probably got tired and said, screw this, I'll go ahead and take the dive in 8. They still got paid millions of dollars. They couldn't lose. Netflix and Vegas probably made billions. Because Netflix had that glitchy streaming going on, and Vegas, of course, they knew everybody would be betting on Tyson. Everybody who betted on Paul, betted on Tyson, lost their butts in bets, and all those in Vegas who knew what the script was, betting on Paul, made no telling how many millions, if not billions of dollars. Oh, really, Josie? Jake's on there? Who's Jake? Is that Jake Paul himself, or is that somebody else? Y'all hold on a minute. The wood chips is calling the piggy. I'll be right back. All right. Now that I can think again, she's asleep right now. She's listening to ASMR of Native American flute music. It kind of appeals to us. It's made me sleep real good the last couple of nights. So she's in there still asleep. So she's just real tired. There's been things upset her stomach, and that's kept her going back and forth. Alvin! Lordy, Lordy. Bless my soul. Alvin Lewis is in the house. Good to see you, Alvin. Hope you're doing well. But anyway, she's in there asleep right now. She's had stuff upset her stomach. She's, you know, Arr! Yeah, it is a full moon. And, so, uh, anyway, she's been trying to get over that. Her system is just out of whack and it's wore her out. And it's been hard for her to eat because every time she eats, her stomach gets upset and things go wrong and everything. But it's like I told her, I said, number one, we're older. Number two, we've both been through traumatic surgeries, Mama Bear, that is known to make a person on the inside 2 to 3 decades older than what they are on the outside. Reverend Dream, good to see you. I've seen some of them, Josie. I'm not sure if I've seen all of them. I do find them interesting. If y'all don't know Josie at New Image Landscape, check him out. He's into landscaping and stuff. It's pretty interesting. Same here, Reverend Dream. Same here. And so anyway, she's just out of whack. And, like I said, the surgery's been through and all like that. It makes us decades older on the inside than what we are on the outside. Yeah, so you had 20 to her, she'd be equivalent to 75. 30, it would be 85. And if you had 20 or 30 to me, it would be 79 and 89. And trust me, sometimes I feel it. Because types of surgeries we've been through, it will do that. So some stuff has messed her stomach up, and she's out of whack, and so she's trying to recover from that. Of course, I'm hoping that with some things that are apt to be soon changing, the food will get better, and we might not have such problems. I think some of y'all know what I'm alluding to. And just for the record, yeah, I voted for Trump. And I'm glad I did. Now, as a Christian, I've said before, that we're not supposed to be involved in politics, but at the same time, the word also tells us that we are supposed to be patriotic. We are supposed to support our nation. And we are supposed to be concerned about what goes on in our nation. And so I did my civil duty, and I went and voted, and I voted for Trump. What gets me is everybody wants to separate themselves into left or right, conservative or liberal. But I got to wonder, whatever happened to just being plain old American and voting for what is good for America? Doesn't matter left or right. If a conservative Republican has a dip idiot idea for things, he should be tarred and feathered and flogged. Just as any Democrat, same way. Don't matter left or right. Is it good for America or bad for America? Want others to pay for your irresponsible promiscuity is not good for America. Sorry, not sorry. right? I think I get that. You know, is it good for America or is it not? I'd vote for a Democrat if he had a good head on his shoulders and was for America. Problem is, Democrat ain't Democrat no more. They turned commie back between the late 50s and early 60s. Typos happen, Dream. It's just part of it. Most of us have learned to read most of Internet-ese. But, see, in 1900, the communists entered Russia. 20 years later, they took over. Russia then became a communist country. Well, by 1939, America had their first communist national convention. There was a national convention of communists on American soil in 1939. Well, in the 50s, there was McCarthy trying to root out all the communists. Well, they squashed him because he got too close. I don't think he was allowed to go far enough. Because I don't care if you're a communist in this country, you have no rights. Freedom of speech is one thing. That's not to say that speech should not have consequences. Because if you're promoting an ideology that is totally contrary to the American dream, yeah, you should be shut down. And that's what Democrats are. They're communists. Because in the late 50s, the Communist Party in America disappeared. But they reemerged as the new Democrat Party. That's why Reagan said he didn't leave the Democrat Party. They left him. And I would agree with that assessment. Well, that's good, Josie. That means you look at things from the standpoint of being an American. What's good for America? The rule of thumb with a politician is if their mouth is moving, they're lying. That's proved to be true time and again. But they're going to tell you anything they want that they can, that they think will get you to vote for them. And that's what that comes down to. Basically, they're just a used car salesman trying to convince you to go their way, whether they mean it or not. And usually they don't. That's right, Josie. That's why I like Trump. He's not your typical politician. He is not a politician. He's coming at this thing as from the standpoint of being an American businessman. And he's going to cut the fluff. And he got a major fluff cutter on his team. His name is Elon Musk. Because Elon Musk, being a major innovator and businessman himself, recognizes fluff where it is for what it is. And he's got no problem with cutting it out. And Elon and Tesla is a lot of the videos I've been watching the last 2 or 3 days. I don't think it's going to take that long, Josie. The first time Trump went in, he was able to get a lot done, but he went in not knowing how things actually worked. Now he does. It don't take Trump long to learn. And with the team that he's putting together, those up on the Hill are already trying to fight it because they know what's coming. They know a lot of them are going to jail. They know a lot of them are going to be facing charges that are fit for seeing a military tribunal with only one sentence that could apply to what they've done, whether by bullet or by noose. They know there's only one sentence that can come out of what they're going to be charged with and what they've done. You know, and that's why they're already screaming, oh, this one's not qualified. Oh, that was not qualified. All right, Mama Bear, there's a thought there. Finish it out. Before the election, California and New York. That's one thing that's been in the videos is they've been pointing out that the states in which the toe, as in camel toe, the original hot twa girl, won, was in those states that had no voter ID. Melinda, I saw stuff from her earlier where she had just gotten up. But she might not be aware that I've gone live. I told her there's a possibility I'd go live, so I don't know if she's going to be in here or not. But anyway, that's really the only states in which the toe won is those states that had no voter ID requirements. That tells you right there what happened there. It would have been more of a landslide than it was if voter ID had been in place in those states. You know, but there was a lot of watchdogs out there watching what was going on to make sure that cheating was kept at a minimum. Anything's possible, Melinda. But anyway, I've been watching videos on Elon Musk and Tesla, SpaceX, all that. I've been looking at the potential technologies and what he's doing. Now, Elon Musk is smart as they come. Now, he might not have the highest IQ in the world. I'm sure there are physicists out there that have a higher IQ than he does. But here's the difference. Elon also has an aptitude for creation. So while there may be physicists out there who still have a higher IQ than he does, they don't know how to put it to any practical application. Elon does. And he's going to be one of the ways in which Trump's going to be able to succeed and bring the prices of things down, because there's talk of a phone that he's going to be bringing out. There's one for $50 and one for $100 that has all the bells and whistles that the most expensive Apple phone has, with better energy management for the battery. You know, so that's going to be a big boom for his business, especially with doing the Starlink, and it's going to have accessibility to internet and other things in ways that Apple and the rest of them can't compete with. He's going to be selling his for anywhere from $50 to $100. The latest iPhone, the iPhone 16 Plus, is like $1,500 to $2,000. Well, this Tesla phone, it's got all that it's got, and possibly some more. And he's gonna be selling it for $100. And well, Abbott, I don't know what you got as far as the phone. Well, Josie, I've seen some things and listening to saw this one from this one guy that pointed out something biblical. The eagle, America isn't going to be here for the end time stuff. America's going to get wiped off the face of the map just before a lot of that other happens. Because right now, that's going to be China's only option to not go totally under is to try to wipe America out. So Android S21 Ultra. Okay. I've got one that's by Samsung. It's pretty good, but it ain't the greatest. But I don't have a SIM card in it because I don't use it as a phone. I use it as sort of a mini tablet, play my games on and check notifications and all that. And she's got one that's more banging than mine, and which is good because the one she had, it was great, but then she started having problems with the microphone and all that. Probably a lemon in the bunch. But anyway, Elon's coming out with one that will blow the iPhone 16 away and have better energy management for the battery. Yeah, most phones are that are not Apple. In fact, if it's not Apple, it's powered by Android. Of course, there is Google, but I think they're powered by Android too. So if you don't have an Apple, you've got Android operating system. Uh, so there's that. I have no idea what Este Pate, Patty, Paltu, whatever that is. I have no idea what that is. And the thing about Harris, Mama Bear, is all she was the puppet they chose to try to win the election. She'd have had no real power. It had been those behind her, which would have been the Communist Party, uh, running things. Had Harris got it, China would be our new master. And we would soon have seen the results of that, and there being no rights whatsoever, and America being handed over to China on a silver platter. Because that's what the Democrat Party represents, is China. And that's who they were serving, and that's who they were getting their orders from, was China. So, but God intervened. Trump got it. Trump is God's pig. He gave us a reprieve. It might be short-lived because we might get wiped off the face of the planet in a big fiery ball. That's okay too. I'm ready to go home. Uh, because this life is just a journey to see who we will choose to serve, whether it be God or Satan. And if we don't choose God, by default, we've chosen Satan. And, you know, so if this reprieve is short lived and we get wiped off the face of the map, I'll be looking forward to going home. That's all this life is. It's a journey to see whom we shall serve and go from there. Okay, let's see if I can do something with that. Where my, there it is. Let's see. It won't let me highlight it. You might have to send that to me some other way, Mama Bear. And anyway, so it doesn't matter what comes of all this. We got a reprieve, and we see another 16 years of conservative so-called leadership. It might be long enough to get America back on a good track, but then we might not be here by then. We might be blown up in a big ball of fire. Because China going to be ticked off that they wasn't able to take us in a subversive way, like the current election, and have somebody get it that would just hand it over to them on a silver platter. Great impersonations, okay. Well, right now I've been big on watching things about Elon, and I'm going to tell you, Tish and Christine on at 7 p.m. live. Okay. I might come off of here by then. I might not. I don't know. I know this is the usual time for Elaine's live. I'm occupying the space. If you want to go to Tish and Christine at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Central, so be it. Go. I ain't going to stop you. I love you anyway. But I've been into watching a lot of stuff about Elon, and I see the logic behind what he's doing. And again, he might also be one of the reasons why Trump will be able to get a lot of things, cost of a lot of things lowered. One, he'll get the energy prices down because we'll be producing our own energy. Two, with Elon putting pressure on, he's got the little houses that he makes now, doing the iPhone, the phones that he's doing. There's a computer laptop he's going to be doing that's being boasted at $100. And that's going to put pressure on other tech companies to reconfigure how they build and sell. Because if Tesla's doing it for $100 for a laptop, $50 to $100 for a phone, those other companies ain't going to be able to sell too much because they're way too expensive. And that'll drop their prices because they'll have to compete. If they want to sell their product, they will have to be able to do so at a competitive price. And Elon will be setting the bar on that. He's got those houses that he does too. I've seen them for a long time, but recently they've caught my attention because, hey, $5,000? Yeah, it's a tiny home, but it's got bells and whistles out the yin yang. You could really centralize everything you do. And if you felt like you had to have, $5,000, you could buy a few of those for less than the cost of a utility shed of the same size. You buy some of those, you could have them set up as your shed. You have one set up as your home, one set up as a shed or two, and still be less than the cost of a shed house. Sounds good to me. It's got smart solar technology. All the shingles are each a solar panel. Every one of them. And apparently extremely efficient. So, Betty John Rivo, howdy. Yeah, Josie, that is a laugh, ain't it? Like I said, she was just a puppet. She was something that could be controlled by the power that was behind it. She ain't an idiot. She seems like one, but she ain't an idiot. She would go along with something that she thought she could get a free ride off of. Now she's in bad trouble. Mismanagement of funds, and it's going to get into some breakage of some severe federal laws. So, yeah, that's kind of funny. And anyway, all the stuff I've been watching about Elon and on Elon and how he does, and it's not just his tech. There's been, a lot of those videos have been about things that have occurred in his personal life, just going to get a little something to eat. Some things that he's done. He's like Trump 2.0. He helps people. He at random winds up at places and comes across a situation where he can help. He could have ignored it and went on, but he saved a couple of young boys, 10 and 13, from doing something that would have ruined the rest of their lives, and did something to help their mama out. He was what was behind sparking Emma's hope. Anybody knows anything about that? If you don't, look into that. Elon sparked that, by which in turn Emma's hope wound up sparking somebody else, a girl that was 10 years old, helped them out and sparked them into becoming something. No, Mama Bear, she wouldn't have been a great commie leader. She'd have been. She was just a puppet to try to help get them in control of the states. Because you know what the Comtops do to traders once they've served their purpose. They eliminate them. Because if they would betray their own country, how much more quickly would they betray a country whom they betrayed their country for? So they eliminate those fairly quickly. The joke would have been on them, every last one of them. Because had it played out the way they had wanted it to and they got control, the first ones they getting rid of is the ones that betrayed their own nation to help them get it. Because if they betrayed their own nation, they would much more quickly betray the nation that they became traitors to. You know, that's how that works. And so don't be fooled by that. They wasn't going to get anything out of it. They thought they were, and they're probably going to wind up that way anyway because they failed. You know, if you help them get it, they eliminate you because you wind up betraying them too. If you don't get it, you fail. They eliminate you too. It's a catch-22. You get eliminated either way. Because one way, you're a potential threat. The other way, you're a failure. And also a liability because you could talk about who did what, why, when, where, and how. So it's a lose-lose situation, but those who think that type of government would be better don't see that. They think they'd be special because they think they're the elite. No, you know, because they were getting paid to do it by money they stole off of America to begin with. Just like Soros. China has already declared Soros a global terrorist. Why? Because he failed. So he's now on the wanted list, not just by others, but by China also, whom they worked with to funnel all that money back through him to pay for things over here to try to tear America up so that everybody would vote the way China wanted them to. That's how that works. So we might not have to worry about a lot of Senate and court proceedings going on and prosecuting those who've done wrong. They may not live long enough to get there. But you can bet they're on China's hit list. Because they failed. Highly doubtful, Avid. Highly doubtful. Probably couldn't carry a tune even if it was put in a cradle position on top of an air ride shock system cart and on totally flat glass smooth asphalt. Anyway, that's how that works. I think that way because I am a former Marine. when you've been in the military, what do you think about? You think about how the enemy works. You learn how the enemy works. You learn what the enemy does. Well, those are things that the enemy does. That's how they work. You know, so it's easy for me to see what others are still coming to terms with on how to comprehend, much less comprehending. I bet you do, Avid. Depriving a piggy of an ability to sing anyway and heat him up so you can eat him up. A lot of rub, a lot of barbecue sauce, a little bit of a high heat, but not so high so it can cook for a long time, make it nice and tender. That's why your 78 degrees is not appealing to the piggy either, because while it might be 78 degrees in that house, outside that house in that smoker, it's going to be a lot hotter. Because a piggy is not safe in a Bigfoot house. Anyway, Melinda Dobson, I bet you're right. It would give a piggy some adrenaline and speed you've never seen before. All right, Mama Bear, you take care. All right, y'all mentioned that Christine and Purdy's supposed to be going on here in a few minutes. What's that live supposed to be about? Anybody know? 'Cause I might get off of here and attend to myself. Well, Patty Jean River, you've got her email. All you gotta do is email her. Y'all talk turkey and go on with it. Yeah, what you got in mind making Piggy do something else? Piggy wouldn't be shivering, but he'd be doing something else. Oh, okay. Well, I might have to give that a listen. I don't know. I may as well had for what it was worth. Anyway, I seem to be tapped out. So I guess I'll go ahead and get off of here. And may see some of y'all in Purdy's podcast about Christine. I kind of like them ladies. They're good women. All right, Petty Jane. I know what that struggle's about. Yeah, I think she's awake. I think I hear her phone back there. don't know if I woke her up or she just woke up because she slept out. Well, it's 10 till. I guess I'll go ahead and call it so everybody can get ready to go watch Tish or whatever else you're going to do. I just wanted to take up some of this time so to keep us in it. 62 next year. I'll be 60 next year. All right, Rainy Ridge, we appreciate it. So that's it. I want to say, Piggy loves you.